EDH Deck Building. I am your host, Demo, and these are the 10 most impactful sets for the Commander format. I did a video a little over a year ago about the most popular sets in the Commander format, but there I was looking at mostly the popularity of the Commanders, and a lot of people commented on that video. The inclusion of 99 cards as well will greatly affect the outcome there, and that certainly is the case, so that is what I'm doing here. I am including the impactfulness of these sets based on the Commanders and also the 99 cards. I am also not including any Commander sets. These are the most impactful sets that have not been specifically printed for Commander. Obviously, if I was talking about Commander sets as well, this list would be almost entirely Commander sets, although there definitely would be a few sets from this list that would be included there. I already did a video talking about the ranking of Commander sets, so you can check out that video as well if you want to see where I rank each set specifically printed for Commander. So no actual Commander sets on this list, and of course, because I'm including Commanders in this ranking, really we're only going to be talking about newer sets here, right? They just didn't really print a whole lot of Commanders in these older sets, usually 2 or 3 Commanders in every set, and of course they weren't engineered for the Commander format, so they weren't really that great. I just talked about the best cards for Commander from Urza Block recently. The 3 sets included there, really fantastic cards for the 99 from that set, but the Commanders, not so much, right? Not really great Commanders. We don't really see them much in the format. So if I include Commanders and 99 cards in this list, we're not really going to have any older sets, right? Because they didn't really have a lot of great Commanders back then. So all of these sets are going to be sets that have been printed in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, because of course they really have been engineering sets in recent times for the Commander format. I will start out by giving an honorable mention to Battle Bond, which I think is a really great Commander set. They introduced the partner with mechanic, which is pretty interesting. There's some pretty popular combinations there. They only printed 2 mono Commanders, I guess you could call them, Nigila being really the only one that is really popular in the format. 99 cards is pretty good. They got the Battle Bond lands, which of course are really popular. Cards like Spellseeker and Together Forever, great Commander staples. But mostly I'm giving this set a shout out because there's just some really unique, interesting cards printed in this set that fit really nicely into the Commander format because they are engineered for a multiplayer format, right? This whole set was engineered for a multiplayer format, so there's a lot of neat cards that fit nicely into Commander. Getting to the list though, coming in at number 10 is Core Set 2020 or M20, and of course we got to talk about the Commanders. This is one of the reasons why I have it on the list. Really popular Commanders in the format like Yarok and Kaikar, Omnath Locus of Royal, Kethis the Hidden Hand. Of course, Golos Tireless Pilgrim was also printed in this set, which if it wasn't banned, which of course it is, I probably would have it a lot higher on this list because of course Golos was the most popular Commander in the format when it was banned, and I would imagine still would be the most popular Commander in the entire format if it wasn't banned. Funny enough, it still has over 3,000 decks on EDH Rec, even though it is banned in the format, so I imagine a lot of people are still playing it. Lots of great 99 cards as well. Field of the Dead, really popular colorless land in the format that a lot of people use. Moldravine Reclamation, Mystic Forge, really great 99 cards. Scheming Symmetry, Agent of Treachery, these cards seeing a ton of play in the format. So overall, a really great set for the Commander format. Coming in at number 9 is KALDHEIM. And of course, a lot of great Commanders here that are popular in the format, like Esika and Orvar the Allform. As I correctly predicted, Esika would eventually become the most popular Commander from this set, which it is. Over 10,000 decks on EDH Rec right now. There is a ton of Commanders from this set, right? That plays into it as well. There's 33 Commanders from KALDHEIM, so just the number of Commanders as well is going to push these sets up the list. We got Magda Brazen Outlaw, Turgid God of Fright, of course everybody's favorite to play against. Really interesting Commanders like Koma Cosmos Serpent and Carter Doomscourge. Even Commanders that go in the 99 of decks a whole lot, like Vega the Watcher and Toski Bearer of Secrets, right? So we have Commanders here that are pretty popular Commanders, but also fit nicely into the 99 of a whole lot of decks as well. Bergi, God of Storytelling, right? Which of course is also Harnfell, Horn of Bounty, is in way more 99 of decks than it is actually actually as a commander, right? So that sort of plays into it a little bit here. We got obviously fantastic mono red staples like Goldspan Dragon and Tybalt's Trickery in an absolute ton of decks in the 99. Maskwood Nexus is one of my personal favorites from this set. Just a great commander staple for probably all time because it is a great assist in a lot of different strategies where you want to be changing those creature types. We got Raven Form, one of my favorite removal spells in the format for mono blue. Tyrite Sanctum, really interesting, unique land that can fit in a lot of decks. So great commander set overall here in Kaldheim. Coming in at number 8 is Core Set 2021 or M21. Again, great commanders here. Rin and Seri being the most popular from this set. Over 7,000 decks on EDH Rec right now. That's a whole lot. We also got really interesting ones like Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose and Rada Erdu Keld. Again, probably a whole lot of commanders here that are fitting in the 99 decks more so, like Mangara the Diplomat I see in the 99 decks all the time. Way more popular in the 99 than as a commander. Gadrick the Crown Scourge, again, not a super popular commander, but is in the 99 of a whole lot of those treasure token themed decks. The 99 cards though, really popular ones like Garrick's Uprising is in almost 130,000 decks on EDH Rec. That's a really popular card in the format. Village Rites in almost 120,000 decks on EDH Rec. So we have two cards here that are in over 100,000 decks. Some of those popular cards in the entire format, right? Terror of the Peaks, really fantastic commander card that can go in just about any deck, is obviously seeing a ton of play. Teferi's Ageless Insight, a fantastic commander card that fits in a whole lot of strategies where you want to be drawing cards. Really interesting cards like Peer into the Abyss, Chromatic Orrery, right? These are the kind of cards that when I see them, I'm like, okay, this was specifically printed for the commander format, I think, even though this isn't actually a commander set. Brash Taunter, Fiery Emancipation, fantastic. Mono red staples for the format. Just a ton of really great 99 cards we got from this set for the commander format. Coming in at number 7 is Streets of New Capenna, and I should also point out here, I am not including the actual commander sets, right? If I included the commander version of these sets, it might change the order here, but I'm not including commander sets, so I'm not including the commander versions, just the actual standard set. So Streets of New Capenna had 19 commanders from it. That's pretty good. Giada Font of Hope, to my everlasting surprise, is the most popular commander from this set. Currently the most popular mono white commander in the entire format as well. Other really great popular commanders like Jetmir Nexus of Revels and Zayatora the Incinerator. Really interesting build arounds here, right? Raffine Scheming Seer, Ginny Faye, Jetmir Second. Lots of fantastic commanders doing really interesting things. We had a 3-color theme in this set, and 3 colors is sort of that nice sweet spot that people like to build around where you're not limited too much on your colors, but you're also not playing too many colors. So we got a lot of really great, interesting build arounds as commanders from this set. And the 99 cards I think are just fantastic. I have to give a mention to the Triome or 3-color lands where they finished off the color combinations here, right? They're 3-color lands, so they fit in all those 3-color decks, the 4 and 5-color decks as well. They also have the land types, which of course is really important. They also have cycling as well. I don't know how often people actually cycle these because usually you want to actually play them. Obviously, incredibly popular land cycle in the format. We also have, in my opinion, one of the best counterspells in the format now, an Offer You Can't Refuse from this set. When this first came out, I made a big stink about it because I thought this is a card that a lot of people are going to be playing for sure. And I was right. It's in over 100,000 decks on EDH Rec right now. Professional Facebreaker, fantastic card in a whole lot of decks. Rumor Gatherer was another card that I made a big stink about when it first came out because I thought that was a great option for white. A couple of fantastic removal spells in Void Rend and Unleash the Inferno. And of course, we also got Bootlegger Stash, which a lot of people made a huge deal about when that card got spoiled. It is in 22,000 decks, so it is seeing a pretty decent amount of play, but as I suspected, it was a little bit too much buzz for what you were actually getting for that card. It is a great commander card, but a little bit more niche than I think what people originally expected. Coming in at number 6 is Dominaria, and this is the set for me that they really started to focus on the commander format with regards to the standard sets. There is 44 commanders commanders from this set. So obviously that has a huge impact on the format on its own. Really popular ones as well though, right? Muldrotha the Gravetide, which was the most popular commander in the format for a while. Still really popular, over 10,000 decks on EDH Rec. We also got Joda and Joyra, really popular commanders in the format. Of course, we also got Tatyova, Benthic Druid, which was a really popular commander in the format for a long time. One of my least favorites to play against. Some really interesting commanders in Firesong and Sunspeaker, Tashar, Ancestor's Apostle. So obviously, when you're printing 44 commanders in a set, that's going to greatly increase the popularity of that set in the format. But again, we got a lot of great 99 cards as well. The most popular from this set actually being Black Blade Reforged in over 100,000 decks. Great equipment if you want to be smacking your opponents with your commander, I imagine. Mox Amber as well, of course, really popular in the commander format. Those mana positive mana rocks always will be. Helm of the Host, the third most popular card from this set, is in a ton of decks, enables a whole lot of strategies and combos, of course. We got a great land in Cabal Stronghold, which is going to go in for sure all those mono black decks. And we got the Memorial Land Cycle, which I think is really great in the commander format and probably doesn't see nearly enough play. So one of the most commanders ever printed in a set period, but also a lot of great commanders and of course a lot of great 99 cards as well. Coming in at number 5, Ravnica Allegiance. And interestingly enough, this set doesn't have a ton of commanders. It only has 8. So the commanders here, I'd say, are a little less impactful. Teysa Karlov, of course, a really popular commander in the format, that being the most popular commander from this set. It trails off a little. You got Nikia of the Old Ways, Lavinia Azorius Renegade, pretty popular commanders in the format, not bad. Of all the sets on this list though, the commanders from this set are probably at the bottom, but the 99 cards from this set are just ridiculous. Let's start, of course, with Smothering Tithe. That was originally printed in Ravnica Allegiance, of course, one of the most popular cards in the entire format. Currently in over 272,000 decks on EDH Rec. That's obviously a card you're going to be seeing a lot, but it doesn't stop there. Rhythm of the Wild, another commander staple that we see all over the place, is in over 110,000 decks on EDH Rec. Growth Spiral, man, people really like this card a lot, in over 100,000 decks on EDH Rec. And then we got Guardian Project, which is also in over 100,000 decks. So 4 cards from this set are in over 100,000 decks on EDH Rec. So the 99 cards here are incredibly impactful. And then when we go down from there, we get Bedevil, one of the best removal spells, I think probably the best removal spell in Rakdos Colors, is in over 80,000 decks on EDH Rec. The 99 cards from this set are incredibly impactful. I don't think a lot of people realize this. The commanders are pretty good, but the 99 cards are just out of this world as far as popularity and impactfulness in the commander format. Coming in at number 4, War of the Spark. And War of the Spark, I put at number 4 because it is doing both things, I think, pretty well. There's 16 commanders from this set, so double that from Ravnica Allegiance, but not nearly as much as a set like Dominaria, but again, pretty popular commanders. Of course, Feather of the Redeemed, been one of the most popular commanders in the format since it first came out in this set. Really great design. They really hit it out of the park with the design on this commander. This is where they really started to go in a more unique and different direction with Boros commanders because they really needed the help as far as popularity goes. Niv Mizzet Reborn, also from this set, really popular commander in the format. You got some interesting commanders like Krinko, Tin Street Kingpin, and Massacre Girl, which again probably appear way more in the 99 than they do as commanders. So pretty good on the commander front, but also again the 99 cards, just some slam dunks here for the commander format, like Bolas' Citadel being the most popular 99 card from this set in over 133,000 decks on EDH Rec. Obviously an incredibly powerful, incredibly impactful card for commander players. Dovin's Veto being one of the most popular counter spells in the entire format. I like this one a lot myself. In over 122,000 decks, D-Spark, one of the best removal spells I think in the entire format. It's in over 100,000 decks as well. So we got a great counter spell, a great removal spell. How about Spark Double? Also a commander staple ever since it first came out. People love this card, mostly because it allows you to copy your commander, right? Finale of Devastation, Narset's Reversal, just really fantastic commander cards that we see all the time in the format. We got Mayhem Devil, phenomenal for any sacrifice theme. Time Wipe, fantastic board wipe in the format. Neo Neoform, Death Sprout, just a lot of phenomenal cards for the Commander format in the 99 of this set. Pretty good commanders as well. Coming in at number 3 is Strixhaven School of Mages, and I have been touting this set since it first came out. Of course, this came out the same time as C21, and I've been saying ever since they both came out at the same time that I actually thought Strixhaven was a better commander set than was C21. C21's pretty good too, but Strixhaven I find is even better for the commander format. Again, we got 22 commanders here. That's quite a bit, and there's some real bangers here like Dyna Soul Steeper and Exodus Auric Overlord, Cody Vociferous Codex, really interesting commander there. Over 4,700 decks on EDH Rec, so people really like the interesting drawback here of not being able to cast permanent spells, not keeping people back at all from playing this guy. Bellodros Witherbloom, Killian Ink Duelist, just great commanders, really popular ones in the format. Shadrick Silverquill, Hoffrey Ghostforge, just a lot of really great build-around commanders. Again, C21 had a lot of great build-around commanders, but I thought the Strixhaven commanders were even better. And again, getting to the 99 cards, that's where things really get nuts. Storm-Kilned Artist, again, I'm really surprised. This is the most popular card from Strixhaven, and given to the other cards, which I will get to, how good they are in the format, I'm still kind of surprised that this is the most popular one. It is a great commander card, no doubt, but Archmage Immeratus, Solve the Equation, those are really fantastic commander cards. I believe I had Solve the Equation at number 2 when I ranked the 99 cards from this set, and at number 1 I had Wandering Archaic because I'm like, man, that is such a fantastic card, and because it's colorless, of course, it can fit in any deck, and it's just doing a whole lot of things we've never seen before. Also a great value card. Still is really popular in the format, of course. Culling Ritual, fantastic board wipe / ritual effect that obviously sees a ton of play. We got fantastic removal in Fracture and Baleful Mastery that see a ton of play in the format. Rip Apart being one of my favorite removal spells in the format because I love the versatility of it. Some really interesting cards like Strixhaven Stadium and Auric Lore Mage, which fit really, really well into certain archetypes. So the 99 cards here are just absolutely fantastic, as well as also having some really great commanders. Super impactful set for the commander format, I think. Coming in at number 2 is Modern Horizons 2. That's right. A lot of people might be surprised with how high I put this on this list, but let's take a look at some of these cards. First of all, the commanders, there's 17 of them. Chatterfang Squirrel General being the most popular, and of course, it's an incredibly popular commander in the format. Over 10,000 decks currently on EDH Rec. And as I correctly predicted, yes, you could do Squirrel Tribal with this, which I guess it kind of leans towards, but I think just a token strategy in general here works. So you could pretty much do any token strategy in black and green colors with Chatterfang, so I'm not surprised at all how popular it is in the format. We got Sivus, Harvest Hand, and Launis, Cryptozoologist. Really popular commanders in the format. Garth, One Eye, Gris, the Hunger Tide. Really interesting, unique commanders here. A couple of Boros commanders like General Ferris, Rokirik, and Zabaz the Glimmerwasp that I'm actually surprised how popular they are. Didn't think these guys would be that popular, and they do see a lot of play in the format. Of course, we got everyone's favorite monkey in Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer, which does have almost 2,000 decks on EDH Rec, but it is in the 99 of decks, way more, right? It's in over 58,000 decks because it fits in so many different strategies, and it's just a great card all around. But that's just scratching the surface of the great 99 cards from this set for Commander. We got to start with Esper Sentinel. That's the most popular 99 card from this set. It is in over 210,000 decks on EDH Rec. No one's really surprised by that. Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. Of course, the green Urborg is in over 185,000 decks. So of course that fits in, well, pretty much any deck, but also a lot of specific strategies as well. Urza's Saga, everyone's favorite Enchantment Land, is in over 137,000 decks. Again, another card that you could pretty much put in just about any commander deck. Dothi Voidwalker, as I touted when I talked about the best cards from this set, I thought was going to go in an absolute ton of decks, and it is in over 120,000. Liquimetal Torque and Ornithopter of Paradise, two of the best mana rocks in the entire format, both printed in this set. Incredible. Academy Manufactor, which I said until the end of time will be a commander staple, because if you are in that clue, food, or treasure token theme, you're going to want to put that card in there. Tireless Provisioner, Sword of Hearth and Home, Ignoble Hierarch, Timeless Witness. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with the fantastic 99 cards from this set for the commander format. One of the most impactful of all time for sure. But coming in at number 1 for me is Throne of Eldraine. And when I did my most popular sets in the Commander format, Throne of Eldraine came in at number 3. And that was competing against all of the actual Commander sets, because that is how ridiculously impactful this set is for the Commander format. 19 Commanders from this set and some really, really popular ones. Kenrith, the Return King, having over 13,000 decks on EDH Rec. It is currently the 6th most popular commander in the entire format. Corvald, Fey Cursed King, with over 11,000 decks. It is currently the 10th most popular commander in the entire format. Alila, Artful Provocateur, Chulainn, Teller of Tales, just some really popular, powerful commanders in the format and always will be. But then again, Torbrand, Thane of Redfell, and Sir Conrad the Grim, really popular commanders, but way more popular in the 99, right? We have commanders here that are going to be in the 99 of so many decks because they fit so many different strategies, right? Ayara, First of Lochthwain, Emry, Lurker of the Loch, 2 commanders that are pretty popular in the format, but also fit in the 99 of so many different decks. And again, getting to the 99 cards, that's where things get really bonkers. And of course, we got to talk about Arcane Signet. Of course, the 2nd most popular card in the entire format. Everyone's going to put it in all of their commander decks. Originally came from Throne of Eldraine. Then we got a couple of lands, Fabled Passage and Mystic Sanctuary, both from Throne of Eldraine, both incredibly popular in the commander format. Then Return of the Wildspeaker in over 156,000 decks on EDH Rec, originally from Throne of Eldraine, one of the most popular card draw options in green now, not to be outdone by the Great Henge, which is also a fantastic card draw option for green, among other things, which also came from Throne of Eldraine. Thrill of Possibility, again, still surprised how popular this card is in the format, over 120,000 decks on EDH Rec, originally printed in Throne of Eldraine. There is 5 cards from this set that are in over 100,000 decks on EDH Rec, so incredibly popular cards for the 99 in the commander format. We got the Castle series as well, really, really popular land cycle that sees a ton of play in the format. We got cards like Wishclaw Talisman, Feyburrow Elder, both in over 60,000 decks on EDH Rec. This is without question the most impactful non-commander set in the entire format. I don't know if you could argue it. Just combining the popularity of the commanders with the popularity of the 99 cards, I don't think anything else comes close. This set was very clearly engineered for the commander format, in my opinion. What do you guys think? How would you change the ranking of these sets? Is there anything else that you would include? Maybe some older sets. Again, there are sets like Urza Saga Block that are really, really impactful in the 99, but not a lot of great commanders. So it's tough to add sets like that on this list. Would you change the order of my ranking? Again, I think Throne of Eldraine without a doubt is number 1, and I think Modern Horizons 2 without a doubt is number 2, but certainly it would not be hard to shuffle these around a little bit. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, but that is it for today, and thanks for tuning in.